What's up guys, my name is Stoody. I'd like to welcome you all back to another video, and in today's video I'd like to present to you Stoody Rants episode 37. We are really starting to smash out these rants here, especially heading towards the really bad time of year where match fixing is really big. It gets worse and worse as the year goes on, especially when there's finals coming up and that sort of thing. The match fixing gets really thick. To make sure the teams that the AFL want in the finals are in the finals. And basically that brings me to another topic. Now, if you guys remember last week's rant where Rankine and Heaney were falsely suspended, well, in today's video, I am going to be ranting about the fact that Toby Bedford and Charlie Cameron were not suspended. Now, here's the thing. If you want to give out bullshit suspensions, you need to be fucking consistent with it. If Isaac Rankine and Isaac Heaney are going to get falsely suspended over accidents, then so should Charlie Cameron and Toby Bedford. Now, here's another way that the AFL rig matches. They have certain rules, like suspension rules. Sometimes players get off, sometimes they don't. But notice how the only players that ever get off are the protected players, and the players that never get off are the ones that are constantly fucked over. Like, for example, black players that don't play for Brisbane. Except for, I guess, Callum Archie. The AFL are usually very racist when it comes to suspensions as well. You know, Rankine last week, the fact that he's black was one of the main reasons the AFL suspended him. Now, I know the reason why they decided to not suspend Bedford and Cameron. They decided to let Cameron off because, you know, he's a feral fuck. He's a dirty player and he's the AFL's pet. He plays for Brisbane and they do not want Brisbane missing the top 4 or top 8 or whatever. Even though Brisbane clearly are not a top 8 caliber team, they're still going to be in the top 4 because the AFL will rig it so that Brisbane are in there. And that's why they don't suspend Charlie Cameron, because he's one of the biggest protected species in AFL history. And really, he's a dirty player and he should be suspended regardless of what he did. And when it comes to Toby Bedford, the only reason Toby Bedford got off was because he injured a Richmond player. And obviously the AFL are very happy over the fact that Bedford injured a Richmond player because it fucks over Richmond more. And it helps the AFL with their plans to rig the season. So obviously they're happy with Bedford for injuring Taranto, even though it was an accident. So they decided to let him off with it. Whereas if it was the other way around, if it was Taranto tackling Bedford, they 100% would have given Taranto 10 weeks. Because that's how fucked the AFL is. Even though, like, in reality, none of those tackles should be worth a suspension. They should be suspended because fucking everyone else gets suspended. It is bullshit. Favoritism towards certain players is so fucking obvious, it's not even funny. Now, apparently the AFL have a lot of lawsuits going on. And that's apparently why they're falsely suspending players. Or suspending them, then last minute unsuspending them. Letting the players appeal twice when they're only allowed to appeal once. But somehow these players are appealing twice. It's fucked up. Now I am wondering, alright, is this the real reason the AFL have been rigging matches the last 9 years? Is it because of these lawsuits? Is that why they're doing it? I mean, it's definitely a pretty fair reason to think that, I reckon. I think it is definitely possible that they could be rigging matches to pay for all these lawsuits. The reason they rig matches is so they can get more money. They obviously need a lot of money for these fucking lawsuits. One thing I want to say to the pussies that keep doing lawsuits on the AFL because they have a bit of a sore head. Let me just say something. Now, the AFL are not responsible if you have a fucked up head from playing football or a fucked up brain or whatever. Unless you get dog-shotted by someone, everything is accidental and it's part of the game. Obviously, playing a sport where you get tackled and shit, there is a lot of risk to it. You know what I mean? There's a good chance you'll get injured at some point. I mean, pretty much everyone ends up getting injured for the most part. At least once in their careers. Things happen such as accidental head clashes, accidental tackles where your head lands on the ground. You made the decision to go out there, put yourself at risk by playing the sport, and now you want to blame the AFL because you got hurt. Fuck off. Like, fuck off. It's your own fault that your head is fucked up because you decided to play the sport. You have no one to blame but yourself. Now, if the AFL's main reason for rigging matches is because of these lawsuits, then these dickheads that are doing the lawsuits are just as much to blame for the match fixing as the AFL are. So, to the dickheads doing the lawsuits, the former players, fuck you. You have ruined what used to be a great game, as well as the AFL. The AFL are just as responsible because they made the decision to rig the matches, even though it's not necessary for them to rig the matches because they shouldn't get sued for something that they didn't cause. The AFL have rules such as no high tackles and shit like that to fucking avoid these concussions as much as they can. But you can't avoid a fucking accidental head clash or some shit like that. Shit like that's always going to happen, whether you like it or not. But anyway, I guess that's it for this rant. I hope you all have enjoyed this rant. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment for like this. Be sure to become a channel member. Just click the join button next to my name. Also, be sure to subscribe to my premium member, Sean Ducks. Link to his channel is in the description. Also, be sure to subscribe to my other YouTube channels. Be sure to subscribe to my backup channel, Stoody TV. Link to that is in the description. Also, be sure to subscribe to my other YouTube channel. It is called Stoody Archives. Links to both of those will be in the description. Also, be sure to join my Discord server. It is called Australian Sports Community. Link to that is in the description. Also, be sure to follow me on my other social media accounts. I have Instagram, I have Twitter, and also have TikTok. The username for all those is StoodyYT, and links to all of those will also be in the description. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you all in the next video.